Good morning. It's time for It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield. Our weekly podcast every Friday morning at 8:30. I'm Mark Turner. Claire Vaughn sitting over to the other side, and Nick Carter has joined us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Nick Carter. Do you ever have issues with identity, like when you're trying to make a Facebook page
Was
or
he
anything
the
like
Backstreet
that?
Boy?
Yeah, he
Is
was
that right?
Backstreet Boys.
Oh, I've heard it all my life and stuff, and now I'm married to Aaron Carter, so
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Hey, I know how it is.
That's
I'm
great.
married to Tina Turner,
Oh, I know.
so
That's
you know.
great.
So.
So
Yeah, exactly. My cousin is Cody Simpson, and there's a kid, the band, I think it was like a boy band or whatever, but yeah, he had to put C. Robert Simpson as his name on Facebook because they said that he was trying to impersonate.
Oh wow.
So I'm surprised. What's yours on Facebook?
Yeah.
It's Martina Turner or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, yours is just
But,
Nick Carter,
I
right?
mean-
You got away with it.
yeah, my first name's Gary Carter. So
Oh, yeah.
going to college and everything, everyone would call out attendance and it'd be Gary Carter. No, my name's Nick.
That's funny.
It did work out well for me once. My brother got my vehicle impounded over in college, and it was under Dad's name, and they wouldn't release it to anyone besides Gary Carter.
Right.
Luckily, I've got a couple pieces of ID that have that
work.
on it.
Yeah.
So. But,
Isn't it
That's
weird,
funny.
though, how many people you talk to will say, that they know someone who's has a famous name.
Yeah.
Like when our daughter was born down in Heron Hospital. One of the ladies, there was a Michael Jackson that worked on the floor. There was a Patti LaBelle lived next door to Steve
funny.
Miller at one time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny. Well, I was always thankful growing up. There weren't a lot of other Claires,
Yeah.
Claire Wises,
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to have a celebrity name, too.
So were you ever? Well, you do have a celebrity name now.
I do?
Yeah,
Who's that?
Claire Wise.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Claire Vaughn.
Claire
Claire Vaughn now.
so,
The artist formerly known as Claire Wise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
a real celeb.
going by my middle name and stuff, I always swore I wouldn't make my kid go by his middle name.
Uh-huh.
So instead, I called him R.E.
Yeah.
And just capital R, capital E, no periods, anything else.
And that's his legit,
Yeah, that's-
legit name, right?
Yep.
There was it wasn't short for anything, or it was just R.E. Is that what's on his birth certificate?
Yep, just capital R, capital E.
Okay.
Now, yes, Adrian's dad and grandpa's all had the initial R.E. And
Okay.
then my grandfather on my mom's side was Roy Earl. So
Oh, it worked out. Yeah, it's a
there-
family name.
Yeah, there was a lot of R.E.s in there, but
Yeah.
no specifics. So.
That's really cool. It's
But-
unique, but
Yeah, they call him out at a football game or something. He got re a lot. So
yeah, those dang announcers. Listen,
yeah.
we try to make a point. We do fail sometimes, but Mark is really good about going down, talking to the other coaches or the other media from the other team, and just saying, can we run through the names?
Yeah.
Like, I want to make sure I'm doing this right, and I think that's a level of professionalism,
Well, thank
attest to Mark for sure, because I'm always scrambling around with the computer, making sure the stream's going good, and then we go live, and I'm like, oh, crap.
well, I just try to go by the school's name. That way, I'm safe.
Yeah,
So-
right.
I was told when I first started in
Yeah.
this, if you're not sure about a name, ask someone.
Right, right.
Don't just assume.
Yeah, because you tell the story sometimes about, was it in T-Town?
Yeah.
Where there were three, you tell it, because I'm going to
Three
butcher
names.
it, yeah.
Okay, there was Prupst, Propst, and Probst.
Oh man.
All spelled.
Yeah.
the same way, and depending on what part of town you lived in, and what family you were in, and normally there used to be a couple of three Props, Probst, or Prupst on the basketball team.
Yep.
And then if you go over to the Breeze area, all the names are the same as in T-Town, but they're pronounced differently.
Yeah, that make it difficult.
Made it real difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's it's just what you do.
Yep, you got to do that for
Yep.
sure.
I had to do that the other night with Wayne City.
Really?
Yeah, they had a kid on the team, last name Nguyen. So
I'm not even guessing.
I wanted to go
Yeah,
down and double check
right.
with Jake Talbert just to double check on his name, because he was going to play, And, you know,
Do you remember how it was pronounced?
Win.
Really?
Yep. I've heard it pronounced with the N at the end, you know, Nwin,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard it pronounced Win. Luckily, I guessed right, and Jake said, "Yep, that's how you pronounce
That's
it." So-
right. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, Nick, thank you again for being here with us
Yeah.
and
I appreciate it.
joining on It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield. I guess let's talk about you and your business a little bit. So you are the owner, operator of Carter Insurance.
Yes, ma'am. Real quick before we jump
Yeah,
into that,
that's fine.
Just give a happy birthday shout out to my cousin David Carter.
Oh, happy birthday, David.
Yeah.
His birthday is obviously 2/2/1980. Mine is 2/3/1979.
Aw.
So this being a leap year, I'm a full year older than him.
Oh,
Okay.
look at that.
You're gonna rub that in all the time.
Full 365 days. I get it once every 4 years, so
That's awesome.
Got to bring that up.
I
But,
know. Leap year. That's exciting.
yep.
Very cool.
No, I've got Carter Insurance, your neighbor just down the block here. So
Yeah, located in downtown Fairfield.
Yep. I did notice across the street this morning. It looks like there's another local business getting a facelift or something across the street.
I didn't even notice. I just pulled right in. Is it
Straight across here.
next to Fusion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got a lift out there, so
Yeah,
hopefully we're gonna see something new.
I
think,
know. Andrew Gifford bought it.
I heard something that there might be a like a clothing store in there. Maybe? I'm not quite
I'm not
sure.
sure. I've how it is. I've heard a couple different things,
Yeah.
but I know that Andrew Gifford did purchase it and has some ideas going around. So I'm anxious to see what goes in there. And
I'm voting
know.
for axe throwing.
I know, right? We need an axe throwing. We need more events that we can do in town for date nights or just fun
Axe
hangout
throwing on
nights.
date
I haven't
night, huh?
I haven't
Yeah.
done. Yeah, that may be dangerous.
Well, heck, it must be date night at my house all the time because I'm always getting an axe thrown.
When I was growing up, it was the butter churn. I remember seeing that thing get chucked
Butter.
across
Or
the
the-
room a time or two.
Oh, what's it? Rolling pin. The
Yeah,
rolling pin.
yeah. A wooden spoon. If I was being chased with a wooden spoon, you knew.
Yeah.
Better get your crap together.
Mine was always, you need to go out and
Pick your switch.
pick yourself a switch. And,
Uh-huh.
God forbid I walk in with just a little twig about like that, because then I'd get beat with the tree trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes you would, you'd pick the smaller one thinking it's not going to hurt as much. And man, sometimes you were wrong,
My brother, when we were little, he decided to go out to the garage and do some woodworking with Dad, and for whatever stupid reason, he built a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what you're thinking there, but normally I was at the receiving end, not him, so maybe he was thinking.
Yeah, you got a little bit of joy out of that,
Mhm.
possibly. That's funny. It's that, it's that sibling love. Like
Yeah.
We've talked about that a lot this week. Me and my contractors and intern just listen. I can maybe talk about my sister. I can maybe say the things that drive me nuts about her. Laura, if you're watching, love you. But if anyone else talks about her, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even if they say the exact same thing I said. This is kind of going back to like high school or whatever, when we weren't as close. But you don't get to say it, but
Yeah.
I can. We always have each other's backs when we need to, but we also had the fights for sure. Always had someone to play with, and always had someone to fight with.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
kept the childhood interesting for sure. But all right, so Carter Insurance, what all kind of insurance do you offer? What's your main focus?
The easiest way to describe it is I do everything besides health.
Okay.
I try to stay away from that. If a client's got some questions on how to navigate healthcare.gov
Right.
or whatever, I will sit down and help them with it. But,
Yeah.
of course, home and auto's kind of the bread and butter.
Right.
I prefer and love the commercial side of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of businesses here in Fairfield that, unless you get behind the curtain, you don't really know what they're, fully doing in town. A lot of our businesses, or some of our businesses, are, across the nation products and everything, and a lot of people just think, oh, that's a little storefront in Fairfield. No, they're,
Right, they're selling
they're
across
shipping all,
the
they're shipping all over. I know Le Mans Motorsports, their parts department probably has 50 different retailers and garages and things like that that they send parts to. I know we used to send down to Key West to a little scooter store down there.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean,
And
just a lot of cool things like that.
I know leg manufacturing is the same way. You know, you think of them as like a little
They're-
flower shop, and they're not. Like, they make, I went in there for a tour once the new owners took over, and like, they make all of this product that's sold nationwide, you know? And it's
Amazon. I mean, they're selling like
Yeah.
something 1,000 pieces a day, or I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. But I know it's a ton.
It's a lot, and I was just blown away. I never knew that,
Yep.
you know. And here we've lived here our whole lives,
Yep.
and we, you know these businesses, and I know probably, you know, Vaughn's, Diesel. I think they ship parts out, and they,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean.
Yep.
There's a lot of businesses in town that are like that. So yeah, you have to really know the business, or take the time to get to know the business, so you can make sure that they're covered, you know.
Yeah, you just got to know the risk involved and kind of
Right.
the backside and things like that. And so it's interesting to see what everyone's doing around town.
It really is. It's very cool. So, when did you open? I'm trying to remember. It's been a couple of years.
I opened the beginning of August 2019.
Oh, wow.
Now, that was middle of COVID and everything, so
Yeah.
I didn't actually get into my office for probably another year and a half
Yeah.
on it, which during COVID wasn't the worst thing. Did a lot of home and auto just via text.
Yeah.
You know, send me pictures of driver's license and VINs
Right.
and things like that.
Yep.
I'm going to send you an email to e-sign. So that, if anything good came out of COVID, it was kind of shifting the insurance industry to a little bit more modern.
Right.
But it also keeps me better in touch with my
Yeah.
clients too, because if they have an issue or whatever, they don't hesitate to shoot me a text
Right.
or whatever.
And that's the
So-
way of the world now. Like, people, especially like younger than us, they
Mhm.
don't want to pick up a phone and have a phone call. They
No.
want it instantly, and they want to be able to do it via text or email, you know. And I think I totally agree. I think that COVID, that's the one thing good that came out of it, was especially in our small town, it kind of forced all of us to be like, we need to catch up with the times. We need to get online. We need to make it easier. You know, I talk about Christy starting her lives. She started doing lives because she couldn't have her store open, so she did lives, and she started shipping. And now she's shipped, you know, across the United States, and she has people that watch every week and tune into that live, and, you know, just adapting with the times, and, you know, making lemonade out of lemons. You know, it worked out good for a lot of our businesses.
Yeah, I miss the face-to-face and the handshakes and stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, I probably talk to more of my clients more.
Now, yeah.
Just because everyone's gotten comfortable with the
Right,
text and email. And for people working 9 to 5 that can't get in the office,
Yeah.
it makes it a lot easier. You know, you text your kid at school, hey, send me a picture of your driver's license, and they forward it to
Right.
me, and, you know,
Yeah.
15 minutes later, we got a quote.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, that is really cool. And the good thing about small town is you're still going to see people out, and you're
Oh,
still
yeah.
gonna, you know what I
Yep.
mean? You're going to shake their hand and talk to them in person too, but just making the business side of it that much more convenient, it's big. So
absolutely.
But so before you started in 2019, you were in insurance for a while before that too, right? Different
I've been in-
aspects of it.
Yeah, I've been in insurance since about 2010, which back in those days, everyone's still associated with me working for Dad out at the bike shop. So
Oh yeah.
it was a little bit of a different transition. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a buddy over in Mount Vernon. He knew I had my license, so asked me to start selling for him.
Yeah.
Got into that, and then Randy Hallam asked me to come over to H.J. Mitchell, which is across the street from me. Worked there for a while, and then went to Auto Owners as marketing sales rep
Oh, cool.
for the Southern Illinois district. Put in about 2 years there, and that got me all my experience and stuff, where I was able to pick up an Erie contract,
Yeah.
which is my flagship company. And then the others, you know, Progressive, Grinnell, American Modern, they just all kind of
Yeah.
fell into. And me being independent, that gives me the opportunity to shop a lot of different companies.
That's what I was going to say. So, there's insurance agents who work specifically for one company, and then there's insurance brokers that, can shop different ones. And you're kind of like in the middle, right? Because you have your premier ones, but you also can look at those different options and say, okay, this one would be best for you.
Yeah, I would be called, I guess, an insurance producer.
Okay.
Your State Farm and country companies, those are captured agents, and I'm an independent agent.
Okay.
So, it gives me the ability to shop, and I've made a lot of connections in the business. So, if I can't find it, I normally have a buddy with an agency that I can call up and say, hey,
Yeah. And that's huge.
Yeah, give me a quote on this.
Yeah.
So.
That's huge, having a network that you can reach out to, and you don't have to turn people away and make them go on another goose egg hunt or whatever.
Yeah,
you can help them.
It's getting difficult here lately, and unfortunately it's going to get worse, I believe, but insurance industry was one of the last industries to feel the inflation and everything. It's kind of a retroactive instead of proactive approach, but it's going to be tough on the consumers here for the next couple of years. Premiums are going to go up. I mean, they've stayed pretty stagnant for a few years. I've seen some carriers with a 60% increase.
Wow.
Luckily, my main is about a 10% increase, but still 10% is 10% when we're working on paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
But we could see it. I mean, from the insurance side, I could see it coming because, used to a guy went out, bumped into a deer, $1,500 claim. They probably paid that out of pocket as opposed to turning it in.
Right.
Well, now money's stretched tight, so they're turning it in.
Yeah.
And the other problem with that is that $1,500 claims now costing $6,000. Yeah. So not only do you have a rise in claims, the cost of the claims are rising too. So, and we all know that insurance companies try not to lose money.
Yeah.
So,
they ain't in this for the fun of it,
No, and we've seen some of that too. Major carrier is just left the state of Illinois.
Wow.
Then we had about 25 mutuals leave the state of Illinois.
Ooh.
Had another big carrier that used to want about 15% down on the autos, went to 50% down.
Oh my God.
That's a big chunk of change for people living paycheck to paycheck in small communities. So
yeah, it is.
You may want to switch, and it may be a better price. But when you got to come up with that first 50%, that makes it difficult.
That's it's gonna deter a lot of people. But I think one thing I wanted to point out too, just with our experience with some insurance we've been dealing with, I think of insurance kind of as like a business plan for your business, right?
Yep.
Like when your business plan changes, it's a living, breathing document. Your business is always going to change and grow or shrink down. I encourage you to reach out to your insurance agents and let them know, hey, I'm not doing as much business, I'm not selling as much, or hey, I have increased, I've started selling globally. With mine, it's like, okay, I went from a small little marketing company to now there's all of this liability with having contractors driving and live streams. What if something were to happen or we were to say something and there was, I have to constantly be reevaluating mine. And I encourage you to reach out to your insurance agent as well when your businesses do change. It could make you pay more, it could make you pay less, but you need to be covered for when this, stuff does happen,
And that's a big thing that I try to focus on in my business is educating the client.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses, their rate is based on their sales or income. So, if you're having a bad year or two, you need to reassess that, and maybe you can get that rate lowered. But at the same point in time, if everything's just flying off the wall and stuff, you probably want to reassess that too, because businesses have audit premium at the end.
Yeah.
So we always try to guess what sales are going to be and base it off that. But if they go down, you're due a refund. If they go up, you got to pay that bill.
Yeah.
And you don't get to break that over months. That's due now.
Yeah.
So, that's one that you want to have a conversation. The other one with businesses, have you added something different?
Mm-hmm. A new product line or a new sales channel or whatever.
Yeah, my dad's been in compact tractor and mower business, and now they're spreading out to the agricultural drone side of it.
Oh, wow.
So that's a whole nother aspect that we have to have a conversation about.
Yeah.
And everyone hates an insurance premium.
Right.
Until you have a claim.
Yes, for sure. You have to have it.
Yeah,
you just do.
If you're going to get sued, it's a lot easier to have and a lot cheaper to have insurance than it is to not. And then on the personal line side, that's another big deal with the rising price in cars and things like that, is we need to have a conversation. Do you really know what state minimums are? And most people don't. And me being right here in front of the stoplight, pretty easy for me to explain because it never fails. You're sitting there talking to me. We get a red light. Here pulls up a farm truck, pickup truck. I'm like, what do you think that truck costs? Like, 50, 60 grand, which most of them are higher than that now. I'm like, well, you've got state minimums, which are $25,000. So who's going to pay for that truck if you hit it and total it out?
Yeah.
Well, my insurance company is. No, they're going to pay $25,000.
$25,000.
Where's the other $25,000 coming from? It's coming out of your pocket.
Right.
And they will garnish wages on that. So, and normally, it may be a $10 increase a month,
right,
to bump you up to $100,000 where you're actually covered, right? So, you just need to have the conversation with your client, and a lot of times it's just educate them.
Yeah.
Because before I got into this, I didn't understand it either. And I'm still learning day to day.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And things are always changing, I feel like, So it kind of keeps it interesting. I always like that with our job, too. No day is the same. You never know what you're going to get into.
Exactly.
So, well, awesome. I was going to talk about our guest play-by-play commentator on Mule Nation and Bobcat Nation a lot. And we appreciate you and your time, volunteering your time to do that. And he's helped us out with wrestling and softball. So
I've done a little bit of softball.
Yeah, you had some experience in your past life, right?
Yep.
With some softball, and you do a great job. And if you guys have not came out to a Bobcats softball game or a high school softball game, softball is so fun to watch. Like I have a new love for it. I never really watched it in high school or anything, and it's really fun. The college, I think they were in the top 5 for home run hitters. Home runs hit this year or last year. So the Bobcats team is so fun to watch, and Nick does a great job doing play-by-play for us. So.
Well, the softball is just so much faster than a baseball game.
Yeah.
There's no throwing to first and looking your runner down. It's a run.
Fast
pace. Yeah.
paced.
So if you like the baseball game, but you don't want to sit there for 4 hours.
Come to softball.
Go and as far as hitters, how many last year did we see put over the scoreboard or bounce them off or whatever?
Hit it.
Yeah.
It was so fun to watch.
Yep.
And Coach Ellis does a great job with the girls, and we always have a good time out there at their games. And softball's coming up. We're gonna have a home opener. I think it's into March or end of February.
It's right at the first
of March.
I believe, right? End of February, 1st of March.
Yeah. And then Bobcats baseball wasn't supposed to start until the 26th, but we got a message from Coach McHugh yesterday that they've got a home game next week, tentatively, with Oakland City. So our schedule, our streams are starting a little earlier than expected on that, but we're excited for some cold baseball. But I talked to Coach McHugh the other day, and he did say his sweet wife She has already gotten us like a hot water maker. Like you run the water through and it's going to make us hot water so we can have our hot cocoa and stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
She's so sweet. She would like bring us blankets and heaters and stuff last year, but
Well, it may not be as cold as long though. Punxsutawney.
I
So,
know.
hey, spring's coming. So
Yeah.
happy Groundhog's Day,
Yeah.
everyone. And so glad. I was looking this morning to see if he saw it, and yeah, he didn't see his shadow, right? Is that
Yeah,
okay.
he
did not
see it.
see it, so that
Yep.
means spring is coming earlier. But like the percentage of times that he's seen it versus he hasn't, like it's astronomical. Like typically he always predicts that we have 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah.
You know, majority of the time. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real fast. But yeah, I was really surprised by it.
Huh.
We were walking into school this morning and Felix was talking to Ellis, his little cousin. He said, Ellis, do you know what today is? And Ellis was like, what? And he said, Groundhog's Day. And Ellis just busted up laughing. He thought that was, oh, my cousin's so funny, just calling it Groundhog's Day, you know. And Felix was like, I wasn't joking. Like, it really is Groundhog's Day. But
Yeah, and for all the kids that don't know, you need to go watch Bill Murray Groundhog Day.
yes,
Oh, man.
on repeat.
Oh yeah, I mean,
What a
So,
great movie.
in my mind,
Somebody's going to have that on all day today.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, I thought about playing an old RJ on the Air this morning just to like mess with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So prior to 2024, the groundhog had seen his shadow 107 times and has not seen his shadow only 20 times.
Whoa.
So 107 versus 20. That's kind of crazy there.
It
but
is.
It's about an 80-20 ratio there.
I know,
So,
it's crazy. I just got a text from Denny Fry. We have a new setup on our, if you guys have noticed, it's a beautiful day in Fairfield. We kind of upped our production a little bit and added our names and just kind of some socials and have some other things we're going to show later in the broadcast. But when Denny and I practiced this stream this week to test it out, he's like, make sure to tell Mark not to wear light colored shirts because your font's in white. And what do I show up in today?
well,
A white
You know.
shirt, you know? Didn't think about it once. So,
you're anticipating spring.
hey, listen, I'm ready for it. I am ready for spring. So, all right, let's go into the weather, Mark.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of spring, it's going to feel like spring.
Woohoo!
Yeah, yesterday was just gorgeous. 55 today. We're talking 50s for the weekend.
All right.
Nice.
We're talking 50s all the way through to next Friday when the temp jumps into the 60s. 61 next Friday.
That'll be a teaser.
61.
Yeah, and then back down into the 50s, and then Sunday back for 60. But we're looking like it's going to be no rain in the forecast.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Now that may change, in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to the Midwest.
It's
Yeah,
Southern
welcome to
Illinois.
Illinois.
You don't like the weather, just wait, it'll change in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
For real.
Now, I never
real.
mind the winter because I'm a hunter. So, you
Right.
know, cold weather, all that doesn't bother me. Hunting went out on January 30th, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't need it after that. So.
Right.
I
We can
was-
cut it off.
Yeah,
now.
we're good.
I was fine with the cold until we had the cold we had a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago, and I'm
I think when
I'm
you
done.
when you get older, like I didn't mind the cold when I was young, but like this year, that cold was a whole different
Oh,
cold,
yeah.
you know. And Elena, my intern from Germany, I said I'm ignorant on Germany and weather and that, and I was like, do you have 4 seasons, And she's like, yeah, we do, but it gets cold there, but not cold like this, And she's like, and it gets hot there, but not hot like this either,
There's not any place that gets hot like it does in Illinois, Southern Illinois, or gets cold like it does in Southern
It's
Illinois.
that
It's
humidity,
just really weird.
It's that humidity. When I lived in Colorado, I always said that, like, yeah, it's cold out there, but
It's a dry cold.
Yeah, it's a dry cold, and I know everyone makes fun of that, but it is. Like,
The same way.
You're out on the mountain in 32 degrees, and you're burning up, you know, because it's just dry, and you're working out, you're skiing.
I went out there jeeping with RE
Yeah.
right after school, and then a month later, Aaron and I went out there, and we had sweatshirts on in the Jeep the whole time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was middle of summer, and but my mom and dad, they like to go to Florida for the winter.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Colorado for the summer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just nice, like you said,
Beautiful.
dry. So
Yeah, when I moved out there for my internship I moved out for the winter, and they told me when I moved out there, they said people come for the winter, but they stay here for the summer
Yeah.
because it's just, I mean, the most perfect weather. It's mild temperature. There's so much stuff outside you can do, like you said, jeeping. There's sailboats everywhere.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
Biking, hiking. Just
I got to go out there over spring break when I was in college once, and we went skiing, Copper Mountain, and all those.
Cool.
And one day, it hit 75 degrees. And I skied in shorts just to say that
Yeah,
I did
went
it.
skiing in shorts.
But
75.
well, when you got a
Holy
10-foot
moly.
base underneath there,
Yeah.
it's still not melting real
No,
quick.
yeah,
so.
yeah, for sure. Back in the days when they had 10-foot bases.
Yeah.
Once I moved out there, it was like, I don't know. Snowfall has just really decreased. But anyways, it's still fun.
It's that global warming.
Global
Yes.
warming. Yeah. All right, let's go into some local sports recap.
Yeah,
for
it's
the
been a busy week.
It has
Oh,
been
yeah.
a busy week. Payday was yesterday. I'm like, woo!
Yeah.
I had a lot of contractors to
Yeah.
pay these past 2 weeks. We've done a lot. But, all right, so we started out 127, which I think was
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fairfield Lady Mules improved to 12-16 overall. Non-conference win over Casey Westfield.
Mm-hmm.
They won 29-24. Lily Simpson scored 16. Riley Edwards had 6. And Riley Jolly was named the Christina Copeland Country Financial of the Game. And then we had Chris and Jeff Wise, my uncle and cousin. They went and streamed the freshman tournament for us at Hamco.
Yeah.
Thank you to Chris. He just took the initiative there. He's like, listen, there's people that want to watch it. You care if I, come by, learn how to set up? And,
Yeah.
and he took it down there. And they ended up placing second
Yeah.
in the tournament. And it was a great game. Would it go into like double overtime, I
Yeah.
think? But it was a really good game. But congratulations to the freshman Mules for placing second in that. And then Monday, Lady Mules 129. Lady Mules lost 51-48 in overtime at El Dorado.
If you watch that game, it's hard to be mad about that last
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
No.
She went coast to coast and threw up 3 at the buzzer, and it went in, and
Yeah.
it was what it was. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun game to watch.
It was a fun game to watch. And, I mean, yeah, it stinks the way it ended up. But, yeah, good job, Lady Mules. Riley Edwards actually led that game with 17 points, and Lily had 13. JV game, they won 57-11.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that one was a
So-
little hard to watch.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, that one makes for a long game.
Yeah.
But and then let's see, 1:30, the Mules beat Wayne City 66-46.
Wayne City.
Yep. And they improved 14 and 10. Lane Tucker led with 21 points. Justice Stagg chipped in 11. JV game, it was 56-31. Mules win. Lane Robson had 13 that game, and Jalen Mainers had 12. Kale Milner had 10 for the JV Mules. Then we went into, was it Thursday? 1:30 Wednesday. We did the double broadcast. Mules Wrestling wrapped up their regular season with a win over Mount Carmel.
One big, man.
51-30.
Yeah, there's a lot of walkovers in that, which,
Right.
for anyone that didn't know what that means, that's just a forfeit.
Because they didn't have someone in that weight class, or they just chose to
They didn't
forfeit.
make weight or,
Right.
Well, and this Saturday is regionals, and it seemed like to me, and I may be wrong on this, but I was trying to, look at the seniors because it was senior night there.
Yeah.
So looked like he may have held some wrestlers back.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Talon Keon, he had an injury, so he was, nursing it till Saturday.
Yeah.
So it may have been a strategy for
Right.
regionals coming up, but
Yeah.
either way, the Mules wrestled strong, had a lot of good wins in there.
Good.
And so, but we're a tough team to beat.
Yeah.
Jordan Griffith has done a ton with this team.
Amazing.
We've got a lot of great kids on it. A lot of new kids. So next year shouldn't be anything different for us.
Yeah.
And the fan base just keeps growing.
Yeah.
And on part to Mule Nation, that
thanks.
does a big job. And you've become a staple in town. I mean,
thank you.
I know Mom and Dad and the Dunns and a bunch of people in Florida watch. Jill Carter and some of them over in Evansville.
Yeah.
I mean,
we see her chime in a lot.
It's become a staple. And
Good.
I've been homesick a couple times.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm pulling up the game on there. And
that's the people we're wanting to reach for sure. The ones that can't make it to the game or that are out of town or, wherever. And like my in-laws are down in Florida for the winter. And, they're watching every broadcast that we do. And like, I have people in town that don't typically go to the games, but now they're used to watching. And if we don't have a game on, they're like, what am I supposed to watch tonight?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's nothing worth watching on TV, so you might as well watch the local kids play some ball.
Right. Let's get behind the home team,
Yeah.
So, and I appreciate you and Marty again for really advocating for the wrestling. We had a couple wrestling matches on the schedule. And Marty called me one day and was like, what's it going to take to get you to do some more? Like, these guys, they need some more appreciation. And I appreciated that phone call, and it really got me thinking. And we've picked up quite a few more broadcasts since then. And now we've got sponsors, and we're going to regionals on Saturday. And we're excited
unfortunately,
about
I'm not
that.
going to be there Saturday.
I know.
But hopefully we got enough going to sectionals and we'll be able to do that. But
yeah, for sure.
It's a great sport.
It is.
Marty and I advocate for it a lot. I wrestled and coached some wrestling.
Yeah.
Little junior league or whatever. But the more people we get to watch it, and I mean, we got 37 kids wrestling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot more parents are coming out and fans and stuff, and they're starting to learn the sport.
Yeah.
And, my grandmother never wanted to come watch me wrestle because she thought it was violent, but yet she'd come to all my football games.
Right.
Wrestling is nowhere close to as violent as a football game.
Yeah.
But
it's that one-on-one thing, and you guys see me.
Yeah.
You laugh at me sometimes. I'm like, like I'm listening to you guys commentate, but I'm going to cover my eyes because it does get intense in moments. But the refs are really good about stopping it if there's a dangerous,
potentially dangerous move and stuff.
And I appreciate that.
But like I said, it's just a fun sport.
It is
all together, and people are starting to figure it out and things like that. So
I've noticed even from last year to this year, seeing how much more crowd there is in the gym when we're there. I mean, it's been packed at home wrestling matches, and that's exciting to see. And I've enjoyed learning about it, listening to you guys who know what they're talking about.
I'm just disappointed I didn't get to do a wrestling match this year. We
I
always
know,
had something else going on one
I
of those nights,
know.
and I couldn't make it.
I know. Mark was a wrestler as well, but he always talks about how names have changed since then.
The terminology.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
that used to be
it's
called.
every sport. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrestled for my first 2 years of high school, and then I hit a growth spurt in between my. But I decided I wasn't going to wrestle anymore after I was a sophomore because I wrestled a varsity match against a kid that was first or second ranked in the state, and he came out. He went like this. I went like this. He went under, put me in what they called at the time banana splits.
Yeah.
And 13 seconds later, I'm tapping out. I was like, okay, I don't know that I want.
I don't want banana split anymore.
I don't want to do that again. So,
I think that's been renamed to the surfboard when I was there, and I don't know what it is now.
so then I switched to basketball after that.
That's
so.
funny.
The other thing I like about wrestling, and not that we have parents around here that do this and stuff, but you hear of parents complaining, my kid didn't get enough playing time. Or,
right.
You favor. Well, you don't have that in wrestling because the night before a match, you have a wrestle off.
Mm-hmm.
If you want that varsity position, you got to beat the varsity guy.
Yep.
And if you do,
in weight class, right?
Yeah,
Each weight class.
Whichever weight class. So you could have someone that wrestled varsity all year, and you get to the end of the season, and you've improved enough, you go out and beat him, You're the guy. You're the guy going varsity to regionals and stuff. So
yeah, I love that.
It's a one-on-one discipline sport that it's up to each wrestler on whether they're going to be varsity or not be varsity.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's a great way for the JV or the younger kids to improve, to be like, okay, I may have got my butt kicked all season long, but I've learned from it. I'm gonna figure out how to beat this kid by the end of the season.
Well, perfect example. Bentley Rogers is our heavyweight.
I was thinking the same thing.
He's a junior, so he spent most of his wrestling career getting beat up by Peyton Allen. Fifth in the state. Bentley came out this year and he's on fire.
He is.
I won't say he's won us another conference title because we had to have all the wins in that Carmine match beforehand.
Right.
But it came down to his last match.
Oh, and he worked hard.
He went out and fought hard and came away with the win on that, and also came away with all conference.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Having to face the best and get beat up by the best only makes you better. Our guys are proving it. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, after an exciting win for the Mules wrestling, then you were at the Mules versus Mount Carmel game at home.
It was a
nail biter.
It was a game for 3.5 quarters, and then it got to be a really good game for the second half of the fourth quarter and the overtime period.
I watched because I was watching wrestling, and wrestling got over really quick.
Yeah.
Like it was over in like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I switched over to basketball, and I just watched the views, the numbers of the viewers just go up and up and up and up. It's like someone was texting people like, you have got to turn on this game because they were playing so good. And
tell you what, Jake Easton.
Yeah.
I mean.
That three.
He hit a three to pull within one, okay, late in the game. And then Mount Carmel came down and hit a two. He may have launched it with half second to go. I'm not quite sure.
And it was such a scramble. Do you remember? It was such a scramble play. Like I was like, what is happening? Like everyone's running around, and they get it to Easton, and
ball
he
was
just
on the ground.
throws.
Lane Tucker, who was supposed to take that shot.
Yeah.
Because he's the team leader.
Yeah.
Somehow got it over to Jake, and Jake just launched it from the corner. And as the buzzer sounded, the ball just drops right in.
Nice.
I mean, it was just one of those beautiful moments, I never thought in a million years it was going in, not because of anything against Jake. He's a great ball player, but it was just such a rush kind of thing, and sinks it. And then it ended up going in double overtime?
Nope, just overtime.
Okay, just overtime.
We outscored Mount Carmel 6-2 in the overtime.
Yeah,
period.
Ended up winning
49-45.
Yeah. So Lane Tucker had 12 points, and the Mules improved to 15-10. So.
Yeah, and they're on a 4-game winning streak headed to El Dorado tonight.
Let's go. Let's talk about.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game tonight.
Talk about El Dorado for a second.
From what I understand, and I was talking to R.J. Price, who broadcasts for El Dorado.
Yep.
Their new coach down there runs what they refer to as the 7-second offense, and if you're familiar with basketball from the past, the Grinnell system, basically. Okay. Under the Grinnell system, you played like hockey line change. You played, 90 seconds, then you'd replace with 5. But I mean, it's just constant.
Right.
Shot goes up, 3-4 guys release trying to get a fast break.
Yeah.
I mean, teams average, 80, 85 points a ball game. It's fun to watch.
Wow.
But I mean, there's no in between. You can't be a 15-15 team running that system. You're either really good or you're not so good.
Right.
And El Dorado right now, because they only got 7 kids playing, or 7 kids who actually play during the game, they've lost, I think, 9 in a row now, 9 or 10 in a row.
Wow.
So.
That is crazy.
So they're learning how to play.
Yeah, for sure.
They were also telling me that the new coach came in, the first practice, he ran them. I think every kid puked. Because they were running so much.
Oh, gosh.
But you got to be in shape.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun to watch, not so much fun to broadcast.
Right.
Because it's so up and down. Your head's got to be on a swivel, but it is fun to watch.
I say that to you guys all the time. Like, I can't do play-by-play. I always preach in Mule Nation, I want everyone to learn every position, right? And I am the biggest hypocrite because my brain does not process what is happening as fast as guys do. I know that's a generalization, I know, but like Mark is saying it, and I'm still processing what's happening. You know, I don't have that quick. It's not second nature to me. I didn't play it my whole life like you guys have, you know, and so I'll get there.
Yeah.
I ain't there yet.
I do the same thing when it comes to wrestling because sometimes, I mean, they're rolling.
Yeah, you just kind of got to skip.
I occasionally just have to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
And then, okay, this is what just happened.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. There's a lot happening sometimes. Definitely. Well, one more game last night. 21-point fourth quarter for the Lady Mules. It was crazy. They ended up defeating Hamilton County, final of 38-29.
Nice to see them get back on the winning track.
Yes, I know. They're up, improving to 13-17 overall. But they finished conference play with a 6-4 record in the BDC East.
Yeah.
So Lily Simpson had 24 points in that game alone. 24 of the 38 points scored. So she was named the Christina Copeland Country Financial Player of the game.
She had some key three-pointers there.
Yes,
towards
she
the
did.
End, so.
You know, she was on.
Lady
She
Mules
was
with one more regular season game. Monday night. It's going to be senior night at the Mule Barn.
Senior night. Yep,
And,
upcoming broadcast.
Last night also, the Lady Mules got the number 6 seed in the regional sectional complex,
Okay.
which likely means they're going to have a home game on the play-in game for regional, which will be on Saturday the 10th.
Yikes.
Now, the Mules boys have a game that afternoon with Chester,
Right.
starting at 2:30. So, tentatively, what the plan is, according to Coach Townsend, is they're going to play the boys' game, and then they'll start the girls' game very shortly thereafter, because there's a window of time on that Saturday that you have to get that game started. I think it's between 1 and 7. So they're looking like almost like a 6 o'clock start
Okay.
for that. So
All right. Well, we talked about upcoming broadcasts, but we talked about boys basketball at El Dorado tonight. I do want to point out it will be all 3 levels streamed. Chris Wise is coming, picking up equipment, going to take it down to El Dorado, get it set up for the freshman game. He will not do play-by-play. I can't convince the man yet. I think his wife may have something to do with that. But he will be streaming the freshman game, and then the rest of the crew will get there to do JV and varsity. After that, down in El Dorado. Tomorrow we talked about wrestling regionals at Robinson starting at 9 a.m. I do want to give a thank you to our sponsors for that.
yes,
F&B, Community Bank, People's National Bank, Carter Trucking, and Le Mans Chrysler. We appreciate you guys for helping sponsor that. You know, when you get into postseason, and this is not something we planned on doing in our budget, you know, and you get to postseason and you have to pay rights fees to IHSA, which is about $200 for a regional match, and then mileage up to Robinson and pay the guys mileage. And I wanted to make it worth their while. So, you know, they're going to be there for a long time. We said 9 to 3, could go longer. You never know.
And it'll be a tough regional.
Yeah.
Just listen to coaches talk and everything else. Whoever makes it out of this regional, there's a good chance sectional could be easier for them than the regional.
Wow, it's that tough of a regional.
That's how tough it's going to be.
So I was kind of looking at Robinson just because I was trying to find out times and things like that, looking at their socials. Robinson is my second home, you know. I spent some time there, but they have a girls wrestling team.
Yeah.
They have, you know, we've talked about that on some of the broadcasts where we're kind of behind the times as far as wrestling catching on. If you go a little bit north, that's only an hour and a half north.
Yeah.
You know, but they've had a wrestling program for a long time, and it's really built up, and you can see that if you go to their socials, go to their website. Looks like they have a great wrestling program.
Yeah, they do, and of course, the further north you get, I mean, wrestling.
Get up to Chicago.
Yeah, it's religion.
Yeah.
The further you get, there are some teams around here that do have lady wrestlers. But
yeah, we
But
watched
Salem
some.
had one, didn't they?
We watched some down in
Yep.
Pinckneyville. There were some at the.
But when
BBC match.
when you go north, I mean, they have full teams.
Yeah.
And
They go to state. There's a
they're-
woman's state now.
Exactly. And so, which is great to see.
Yeah.
You know, because I've wrestled a couple girls back in the day and stuff, and
It's tough.
you know,
Yeah.
teenage boys, it's a little awkward. I'm sure it is for teenage girls too.
Right.
So
Right.
it's nice to see them being able to
Yeah.
fill teams and
Yeah.
enjoy the sport.
Yeah,
Also.
definitely. And I think of it in the opposite as well. Like, I'd love to see some more male volleyball teams. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
volleyball is such
And you go up north,
and they do
and
have
there's a lot of
and
there's a boys state series for volleyball.
volleyball's huge around here. I think that would be really cool. You
Yeah.
know.
There, sport-wise, there's some good things that are going up north. Before I came in, I read the news just in case.
Yeah,
you know, need
I
something.
quizzed you.
Yeah, and I noticed today the Chicago School Board has voted to remove police from the schools.
Really?
Yeah. So you know, the gun capital or gun crime
Right.
capital. Let's take the police out of the schools and protect our kids. That's another.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know a lot of them up there. I thought that they had like metal detectors when you walked in.
Yeah.
I hope that they're keeping those. But yeah, that's scary. I hate to hear that. And I remember when we were in school, we had a safety officer
Yep.
there. We had Brent McGuire when I was in school, and I don't know. It was a different time then. That was, I graduated in 2005, and that was a different time. And we didn't know about all this other stuff that goes on now. And
I mean,
it helped me feel safe, you know.
Yeah, I can remember going to play basketball games in Louisville, and we'd go in certain parts, and we'd have to have police escorts to and from the locker room. I can remember going to a football game in high school in the far eastern part of Kentucky, and we would have we had to have a police escort in and out of town, and on the and these were not inner city schools. These were a couple of them were pretty rural schools, but it was just the crime in that area had increased enough that we needed a little protection.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
We're lucky.
Oh yeah.
Sitting in Fairfield, a small town. I mean, we still see the meth. We still see crime and things like that, but
Right.
not what a lot of communities have to deal with. So.
Yeah. Hey, before we move on,
I'm not ready to move on yet.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations to Josh Livesey and the FCHS Pep Band.
Okay.
They're going to play at the Girls State Basketball Tournament this year.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
So they did the boys a couple of years ago.
Last year, I think.
Was it last year? Okay.
And then they're doing the girls this year.
Well,
So,
good.
yeah,
Congratulations. That's
yeah.
exciting. We talk all the time about how lucky we are for Josh Livesey and
Yeah.
for our bands. I mean,
He's done a great job. I don't remember a band like this since I was a little kid in grade school, and I believe it was J.R. Gain jumping off the stage to play the big drums on the floor and stuff. And I mean, it was a halftime show,
yeah, that's fun.
at every game and stuff. And then band, for whatever reason, kind of had a slump there. But
Yeah.
he's brought it back, and
He has.
they sound good. So congratulations to them.
We had Turbo when I was in high school. We had Turbo Zerlini. I always forget
Anthony.
Okay.
I call him Turbo. I never can remember his first name, but yeah, Anthony Zerlini. He was Turbo, and he came out and would play Black Betty at halftime and get everyone all jacked up, So I always say we need to get him on here and have him do a rendition of Black Betty. But all right, so going on upcoming events on Mule Nation, we have girls basketball senior night versus Benton on Monday, 2-5, and then we go to Hamilton County on 2-6, boys basketball. 2-9, we will be playing Edwards County boys basketball at home, and then 2-10 boys basketball versus Chester, possibly followed by a girls basketball home game.
We will
there,
know that for sure tonight.
Yep.
So I'll be able to say something on the El Dorado broadcast.
Okay, we'll talk about it on there, and we can do a post on Mule Nation as well.
Yep.
So let's roll in here to our upcoming events. We have tonight, Friday, February 2nd, 6 to 8 p.m., a classic rock and gospel concert in Mill Shoals at the Christian Church, Mill Shoals Christian Church. That is sponsored by Steph's Coffee Shop. So go out and support them. Steph's Coffee Shop's been kind of going through a little bit drama in Mill
Little
Shoals.
tough times down
Little
there.
tough times. So go out and show Dana some support and go out and have some fun at the classic rock and gospel concert. Next Monday, Big Al's Barber Shop, ribbon cutting and grand opening. That'll be at 9 a.m. on Monday, February 5th. I'm excited about that barbershop. Mark's already went and been a patron there
I
time or two.
taken a couple of times.
Yeah.
I plan on trying to get by there today for
cool.
a shave. I've been several times to see Allie, but
Yeah.
it reminds me of the old Pete and Max.
Yeah.
You know, and for guys around here that haven't been in, go get you a shave. The hot towel, the straight razor and stuff. I mean,
Yep.
she does a good job
Yeah.
with it, and you know, it's just something we haven't had around here forever. So,
Yeah, definitely.
but go take advantage of that.
I agree. I'm excited to have that here. All right, Glow Bingo coming up on February 9th. That is for the Bobcat Athletics Department. It'll be at the Fairfield Elks Lodge. You can get tickets ahead of time by contacting Nixie. It is for ages 18 and up. And there will be a cash bar. Bring your own snacks because they will just be providing light snacks for that one.
I'm guessing if you don't have tickets, you better hurry, because normally that thing always sells
They
out.
always sell out. You
It's-
better believe it.
yeah.
I've tried to go multiple times and haven't been able to get tickets, so you better be on it if you want to go.
Definitely. It's always such a fun time. I'm actually kind of sad I'm not going to be able to go, but go support the Bobcats Athletics. We also have Sean Rush and the Green Pig is hosting a Valentine's Day dinner at the Elks on Wednesday, February 14th.
Saw their menu. It looks really good.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Appetizer, shrimp cocktail, portobello fries with signature sauce. They're going to have roasted garlic mashed potatoes, green beans, grilled veggies, and then a steak Diane, chicken marsala, or grilled mahi-mahi as the meal options, and followed with cherry delight or bread pudding for dessert. If you have not had Kelly Rush's bread pudding, you are missing out. It is delicious. That'll be $60 per person, but it does include tea and lemonade or 2 beverages from the bar. So I think that's a cool little added thing. And
That is cool.
yeah, thank you to Sean and the Green Pig for putting that on, giving us a nice little date night on Valentine's Day. 2/17 Saturday, Donna Reaver and Cornerstone Community Church will be hosting their biannual prom dress giveaway, and that'll be 9 a.m. to noon at Cornerstone Community Church. They have all the dresses and all the sizes and all the styles. They also have shoes, accessories, flowers. They have boutonnieres, jewelry, anything you need. Go and check it out before you go spend your parents' savings on your prom dress. Thank you to Donna Reaver for always organizing that. We have a sourdough bread workshop coming up at
I was looking
RJ
at
on
that
Main.
this morning. Tina's like, hey, I should go to that.
I
said, yeah,
am
you should.
so sad that I'm going to be out of town that week because I want to be here for it. But hopefully, I mean, I think it's going to be a huge success, and I think that she will be
Who's
back
putting
and
that on
doing it again. Drianna Manahan
Okay, yeah.
is who's doing it. And
Where and what date?
it is at RJ on Main, Saturday, February 17th, 1
Right
to
here.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cost on that, let me go back to it. The cost on that, I think, is $55. And you can buy, $55. You can buy your space ahead of time if you find the event on RJ on Main. It's posted there. You can buy your tickets, or you can message Drianna and let her know to hold your spot. But you get a free starter to take home. And she's actually, I mean, it's like an all-inclusive workshop. She's going to walk you through the entire process, which I think is cool. And I think we're all at that stage where we want to learn how to do this stuff again. You know what I mean? There for a while, it's like, let me just buy it. Like you were talking about, insurance premiums have gone up. Groceries have gone up. Like, I wish we were getting that COVID funding now as opposed to 2020 when I did not use it for what I should have, you know? But, times are hard, so let's learn how to make our own bread. I think it'll be awesome.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, if Tina needs me to taste test when she makes it, or Nick, if you ever need a taste tester, bring it on down to me.
I wish I could find. Remember the bread makers they had?
I was just gonna say that. My grandmother had one of those.
Everyone had a bread maker.
yeah.
For sure. Oh my goodness. All right, up next, FCHS Drama presents Into the Woods. That'll be March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. You can find out more details on those times and things if you go to their Facebook page, Fairfield Community High School Facebook page. They'll keep us updated there. Are you a member of the Wayne County Farm Bureau? If so, their 102nd annual meeting is coming up on March 7th at the First Christian Church at 5:30. Go and check that out. Murder at the Derby, got to talk about it, coming up on March 9th. Tickets are on sale now, and those are $50 a piece, and it includes a meal from the Green Pig. We wait on you all night long. We will have mint juleps available, and those are included in your ticket price. So,
And we're going to have the folks coming up on the 23rd on the show, right?
yes,
Okay.
Murder Mystery Girls will be here on the 23rd to chat about that some more. So, Quincy Riley benefit. He was the one that was injured in the accident on the East Highway in between Fairfield and Albion. And I don't know if you guys follow him, but he's making all sorts of strides, and I'm so happy to see that. But they're having a benefit for him March 16th. It's $10 per person. It's a run, $10 per person. Sign up at 11 a.m., take off at 12. They're going to have raffles, 50/50s, all sorts of stuff. Go out and support him and his family.
I don't know what I was thinking. You're talking about a poker run, right? Similar to a poker run. But
I think it's an actual run.
is it an actual run? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an actual run.
Okay. That was going through my mind. I'm going,
Yeah.
Count me out on the actual run.
yeah.
Someone better be chasing me.
Yeah, right? I'm pretty sure it's an actual run, but I'm,
Not sure.
yeah.
Okay, we'll
My
figure it out.
flyers
We'll find
cut
out.
off a little bit, but yeah.
We'll find out and let you know.
Yep, it'll be posted. They're going to hang up flyers all over, and it'll be posted on Facebook. I'm sure you'll see it there, and we'll find out some more info before next week and get that on there. But shout out to Lois Cooper with Desires of Your Heart Wellness. She's having an herb seminar and a make and take event up here at RJ on Main as well on March 16th at 1 p.m. She is going to discuss differences, benefits, benefits, and in-depth info on 10 common herbs. And then you also get to make and take home an herbal tea, tincture, glyceride, oil, and acetum. I don't know how to say that word, but
Lois is always doing something.
she is.
Busy.
She's a busy lady, and I love her products. So
Yeah,
come and learn
she
about it.
retired to start 2 more jobs.
Exactly. she runs, her and Philip run the soup kitchen, and we appreciate them and all they do for the community. And then, she started her own business,
Oh,
you're never too old to do what you love. And she's a perfect example of
Yeah.
that because she's an herbalist now, and she loves it. She went from being a doctor in the medical field to now, hey, here's some better options for you that are all natural, and love it. We also have How the Moon coming up March 16th at Willow Creek Venue.
That is so much fun.
Oh, yeah, they are.
So
I love the dueling
fun.
pianos.
Me too. And bring your tip money, and you can get them to. I think I just kept putting 20s in last time, requesting my humps. I want to hear you guys playing my humps on on those pianos. But
Yeah, if you've never been to dueling piano, it is well worth the time
it's
and
a lot of
money.
fun.
It's entertaining.
So fun. It's so fun. Go out and check that out and support the Wayne County Farm Bureau. Listen, we all told them that we wanted some more, or an earlier spring one. So we better sell this one out, because I think the times they had them before, it was
It was July.
yeah,
right?
July.
Late
Everyone's
June,
gone
early
at
July.
the river or at the lake, and so they're like,
And it always sold out then.
yeah.
Yeah, it either sold out early or there's something going on. I've yet to make it to one out of Willow Creek.
Yeah.
But I have all intentions this time.
Yes, definitely. Go out and check that out. It'll be fun. All right, let's see what we got up next. I think we're up to local birthdays and anniversaries. If you guys do have local birthdays and anniversaries you'd like to submit, send those to Claire at Raylan James, Mark at Raylan James, RJ on the air at Raylan James, or just
Stop in and say hey.
yeah, stop in, say hey, let us know, because I mean, right now I'm using my investigative journalism to pull these birthdays together. I need some submissions, people. But happy birthday, January 30th, to Dustin Ritchie, and Cade and Nikki Carter. I love that they share the same birthday. I think that's so fun.
I remember where I was on January 30th.
When Cade was born.
So I was over at UE, and so was Jody and Erica Vincent, Stacy Hodges, and a bunch of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all went out to what was then the new women's hospital out there on the east side.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
went out and saw Cade.
Got to meet him. Oh, that's so fun. What a great birthday present for Nikki, you know?
Yep, exactly.
And getting to celebrate every year. I love that. Happy birthday, January 31st, to Ryan Burkett and my sister-in-law, Samantha Vaughn. Happy birthday to you, Samantha,
Jody.
a.k.a. Ishi.
Jody Poole.
And Jody Poole. Happy
Yep.
birthday to Jody. We'll get you added to our list. February 1st, happy birthday to Avery Williams, Nikki Brack, Jenny Lee. And was that your cousins? Or
His is today. David
today,
Carter's
the second.
Yep.
Okay, happy birthday, David Carter, on February 2nd. Kathy Clevenger, Lori Bolin, and Ryan Metter. Saw it was his 40th birthday today. Happy birthday, Ryan. And then tomorrow, our special guest, Nick Carter, celebrating his birthday.
Happy
birthday to you. And February 4th.
Well, I've got several on mine.
Okay, share with me.
I had multiple fraternity brothers. Jason Bankston from here in town.
Okay.
His is third. I know I'm forgetting, but for whatever reason, it was a popular day.
Yeah.
So,
I always love that in school. Like, oh my gosh, your birthday's the same day as mine.
Yep.
Like, it seems so
I
special.
always want to go 9 months back and see what the weather was like.
I know. Well, I'm a November baby, so everyone's like, like Valentine's Day, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't want to think about it. Happy birthday on February 4th to Betty Kuntz, Dana Wilson, Trisha Griffith, and Eric Walker. Happy birthday to you guys. And like I said, be sure and send us those birthday and anniversary submissions so we can keep going with that. All right. We're going to go into some trivia, Mark.
Well,
you got some trivia
how about
questions?
question of the day first?
Okay, let's do question of the day. So our question of the day this week was, who do you think will win the Super Bowl 2024, the Chiefs or the 49ers? So what do you guys think, or who are you rooting for?
Hell, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Ari was a Mahomes fan.
Oh, cool.
So,
yeah.
Up until took him to his first actual NFL game for his birthday over in Cincinnati, then he switched to Joe Burrow. But
it happens.
Yeah,
we're very easily influenced at that age,
exactly. So, but no, I'm gonna have to pick the Chiefs on this one.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs as well.
I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I hope it happens for their. They've had a good they were talked down about so bad this year. That they weren't good enough. They were having an off year, and it's like to even make it to the Super Bowl when you're having an off year, I feel like they're the underdogs.
Yeah. I saw a story on the news. It's been this past week how the Chiefs are becoming the team to hate now.
Yeah,
they're kind of like the Patriots.
They're more hated than the Cowboys. I saw that today. They're more hated than the Cowboys. No offense, TJ.
When they were up and coming and they first got to the Super Bowl, it was like, hey, everybody's darling. Then they kind of hit the plateau where everybody was a Chiefs fan, and now it's going down. People are just like, well, they've been up there long enough. Let's get somebody else in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see the latest one this week where they're picking on Mahomes?
Yeah.
For having a dad bod?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I am a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you want from me? And dad bods are in. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ticket prices, though?
No.
For the Super Bowl?
No.
Highest on record.
Really?
This year. I got some numbers.
Okay. I wonder.
Okay.
All right.
All right. If you're okay, They are 70% more than last year.
70%
Yeah.
more.
If you're going with kind of like one of those secondary market ticket, like Ticketmaster,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
SeatGeek, $10,106 when you add in the fees.
Wow.
TickPick, $8,400. Ticketmaster, $8,300. StubHub, $8,500. Ticketmaster is $9,700 when you add the fees in, and Game Time is $8,900. They are saying the reason why the Super Bowl's in Vegas.
Well,
So that's the reason why that people were saying it. So
and that's probably more expensive than a Taylor Swift ticket, isn't it?
well, it depends on.
It better be.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift fans are buying up
Yeah.
all these tickets.
You betcha. So what
They ain't scared.
we put that online
Yes.
earlier this week, so
Yeah.
we got
We
more
got
than a
some-
few comments.
Yeah,
on
we
it.
got some responses. We have Mark Wells saying he thinks the Kansas City Swifts are going to win. And I responded, maybe a name change is in their future. He said, I'm sure their owner is smarter than that, but hey, Taylor Swift may be the owner before long. You
Yeah.
never know. My mom chimed in, said the Chiefs. Ruth McMean said the Chiefs. My sister, she's a huge sports fan. She said, I just hope both teams have fun. She goes for the appetizers, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. Christina Copeland coming in with the 49ers.
She's a Niners fan.
Yeah.
Well, isn't her son a Chiefs fan? I
Family rivalry.
I'm pretty sure
I'm
they took
for it.
Jack for his birthday over to see a Chiefs game.
Oh,
They did go to a
yeah.
Chiefs game this
Him
year.
and
They were
Reese
at the cold game.
Yeah,
couple
you're
weeks
right.
ago, yeah.
Well, that's fun. I love a family rivalry like
yeah.
that, you know.
I think it was Reese and Jack.
Yeah, it was Reese and
Yeah.
Jack. Yeah. Crystal Vaughn, I love it. She came in with she wants the Chiefs to win, but 100 minus 87, which is Kelsey's number, equals 13. But 4 plus 9 equals 30 or 13. You know, Taylor Swift's lucky number is 13, so it's a toss-up whether Taylor's favorite number, who's going to win.
So, isn't Travis Kelsey changing his number to 13 next year?
I don't know, because it works out well. 87 plus 13 equals 100, which is,
I think luckily NFL football positions
Yeah.
say he cannot
He
change
can't do
to
that.
13.
Well, and you know the history behind why he chose 87, right?
No, I haven't heard
No,
that.
no.
Okay, his brother Jason was born in 1987, and he's looked up to him his whole life, and he's the one that really got Kelsey a second chance when he got in trouble in college.
Yeah, kept him in football.
Yes,
when he
kept
did.
him in
Yeah.
football, and he's the whole reason, honestly, that Kelsey got an opportunity in NFL was because Jason played, and so he got number 87 to honor his brother.
Did you see?
I love it.
Did you see Jason Kelsey at the Chiefs-Bills games?
Oh, he was having a blast,
Yeah.
wasn't he? I mean, he's someone I feel like we could all hang out with and have a good old time.
Yeah, I read that he was out tailgating with the Bills fans before the game.
Yeah.
Before the game.
Then
I think
he
he was
takes his
drinking.
shirt off.
He was drinking a beer from a bowling ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the Bills, was that where they were?
Yeah.
They have a crazy tailgate apparently. They're all about it. So
And right before he took his shirt off, he looked at his wife and she said, "Don't do it." He says, "I'm not asking for permission." So her
Yeah.
new thing is
Yep.
she's wanted a cat this whole time. So when she gets ready to ask for the cat next time, she's not asking
And-
for permission.
And then he lifts the little girl up to meet Taylor Swift.
I know.
Which was really cool,
So
so.
sweet. Well, not to talk too much about Taylor Swift and stuff, but I'm a little into it. But I guess Kylie told Jason, listen, this is the first time you're meeting Taylor Swift. Be on your best behavior today. And he said, I passed out drunk when I met you the first time, and I'm married to you, so I got to start the bar low and then make you guys fall in love with me. So he had a good time. He was not on his best behavior, but I think it's good. I think Taylor still loves him. So,
All right.
Now,
yeah,
have,
that's all my responses on that. So,
All right.
have you heard about the gentleman that bought his NFL tickets last year at the end of the NFL game? You know, you put in for lottery and stuff.
Yeah.
And he got his NFL tickets, and he didn't realize that this Super Bowl was going to be on his birthday. His wedding day. So he's looking for someone that would like to take his place. Says she's a great girl, gives you the address of the church and everything else. So
really? That's great.
All right.
That's great.
I love it.
I love it too.
Super Bowl trivia today.
All right.
All right. Who holds the record for the most Super Bowl MVP awards?
I'm going Brady.
Yep.
Brady. All
yeah.
right.
Who won last year's Super Bowl?
The Chiefs.
Yeah. See, I told you it was not going to be too hard.
Who was winning last year at halftime?
Not
other
the
team.
Chiefs.
No one cares.
I was gonna say who were they even
right.
playing? Oh, the
All
Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that's what made us all fall in love with Travis and Jason. Duh.
Uh-huh. What performer had a wardrobe malfunction during
Janet
the Super Bowl
Jackson.
halftime show? Who was she performing with?
Justin Timberlake.
Yep, there you go. I remember at a Super Bowl party watching that game.
And your mouth just dropped like, what just happened?
Well, we had to,
Pause.
Yeah.
Rewind. Pause. Rewind.
Yeah. all right.
Make sure you saw it
Yeah.
correctly, right?
Next one. Which team has the most Super Bowl appearances?
Ooh. Patriots?
It is the Patriots.
Like the
Okay.
Chiefs are the new Patriots.
Yeah.
Noah and
they
I
are.
were talking about that. They really are. That's
Yeah.
like, and Patriots got rid of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing to me. You're like
Well, Nick Saban left Alabama.
yeah, I know. Times
Yeah.
are changing.
Yep.
Yes, it is. All right. About 1.42 billion of these are eaten on Super Bowl Sunday.
Wings.
It is chicken wings.
Hey.
All righty. Which player has played in the most Super Bowls? He's also the oldest player to ever win a Super Bowl.
Tom Brady?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10. Well, and Mahomes is like the youngest,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
to be in 4. He's had 4 so
Uh-huh.
far.
I
So
believe so.
Yep.
4 Super Bowl appearances. And yeah, that's crazy.
What company sponsors the Super Bowl halftime show?
I feel like I
Okay.
saw this the other day, and I'm mad at myself for not remembering. What do you got?
Apple Music.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that one.
Okay,
well,
I
they
was
took
thinking.
over last year.
You know
Okay.
who I was
It's
thinking?
just their second year.
Little Caesars. Little Caesars is
Yeah.
sponsoring something, like maybe the pregame or something. But I was like,
Yeah.
Little Caesars, how many $5 pizzas you gotta
Yeah,
sell
exactly.
to sponsor
Yeah.
this entire? I mean, because you know how expensive it is, but
Who's doing the Super Bowl halftime show? Who's the featured performer?
it's not Taylor Swift. They
It is
tried.
not Taylor
Oh,
Swift.
shoot, I know this
tried.
one.
I don't.
Usher.
Mm,
Who's going
Eh.
to sing the national anthem?
No idea.
Reba.
Reba.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. Couple
I'm not,
more
I'm
here
not
for you.
sure about Usher, but we'll see.
Who did the Packers beat in Super Bowls 1 and 2?
1 and 2.
Yep.
Wow.
I'll give you a hint.
the Bears.
I'll
Just
give you a
kidding.
hint.
They didn't make
It's
it.
one of the teams playing in this year's Super
Oh,
Bowl.
okay.
49ers.
I was gonna say
Nope, it's
Chiefs.
Chiefs. It is the Chiefs.
Like whatever
Yeah.
you say, I'll say the opposite.
I had a friend of mine used to coach football at Greenville College. He was a defensive back for the Chiefs in the first 2 Super Bowls.
Oh.
And even though he'd wear his ring constantly, and even though he Max Bowman was his name, even though he was my height, about my size weight wise,
Yeah.
his hands were twice as big as mine.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was really something.
Huh.
All right, here's our last question. Who did the Chiefs and Niners beat to get to the Super Bowl?
All right. Let's see. The Chiefs played the Bills
Yep. And the Lions.
and the
That's who
Lions.
the
Yeah.
49ers
Oh
beat.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Lions did get beat, but the Chiefs beat the Ravens.
Oh,
to get to
Ravens was
Super
the
Bowl.
last one. Yep, you're right.
So I've got one Super Bowl question.
Okay.
This is more for TJ Vaughn. So,
Okay.
how much does a hot dog and beer cost at Cowboys Stadium during the playoffs?
Ooh, 1 hot dog and 1 beer.
Yep.
$50.
No one knows.
That's good.
Sorry, TJ.
Hey, that could also probably go for the Bears as well, but that's funny.
Bears.
The Bears. Listen, I just became a Bears fan because the Rams left us, and I coincidentally at the same time started dating Yvonne, who was a Bears fan, and like I just, by association, I became a Bears fan, but I'm a little bit of a Chiefs fan right now. You can call me fair weather if you want.
Oh, I miss the Rams, but I'm not rooting for them out in LA.
No, me either. Me either. The whole reason I was a Rams fan was because they were close.
Exactly. Yep.
But all right, well, I think that's all we have for today because we
Is that
are
it?
9:50.
Whoa.
I know.
Yeah.
I got a text from my city people. They're like, "You coming today?" I was like, "Oops."
I guess.
Possibly.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you again, Nick, for being here.
Thanks for having me. It was a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
thank you for coming in.
fun. And thank you guys all for joining us on It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield. Actually, real fast,
Next
Mark
week.
Wells did ask, Nick, has there ever been any talk on starting a junior wrestling program here in Fairfield?
Yeah, there's been some talk. We've had some in the past. When I was a little kid, wrestled for Bob Walker
Oh, okay.
out at the old Derrick House, which is now the CDC.
Oh, okay.
Some people may remember that.
Yeah.
I had a team for a few years. Scott Cuff, he's coaching over in Mount Vernon, but he's talked about trying to expand back over to Fairfield.
That'd be great. And
but-
shout out to Scott too. He helped out on the broadcast the other night,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I believe he's planning on helping Marty tomorrow since you'll be gone. But shout out to
But-
him. But yeah, it'd be great to get something like that.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's finding the people. I think a lot of times we're all stretched so thin, anyways, and finding the people that have the time to dedicate to it is tough.
And when you get into the junior program, you really need a lot of kids because not only are you broken down by weight, then you're broken down by age. So you've got to have enough kids to be able to actually practice.
Right, right.
And that makes it a little difficult at times and stuff.
Yeah. It's not as easy for the coach to get out there and wrestle them like it is in high school,
Yeah.
like they're 45 pounds.
Yeah. And so,
Like, what
but-
do you want me to do? But I think that would be great. And Mark said that Mount Vernon and Olney both have really good programs
Yeah.
in their communities. So
Sure do.
Mount Carmel, I talked to Cheeseman the other night when we were there, and he's getting his back going, and he's got 50 kids signed up.
Wow, that's
very
incredible.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, well, I just want to make sure we got that in.
Real
But,
quick,
Mm-hmm.
freshman broadcast tonight
Yep.
as the Mules play at El Dorado, and next week, Bo Tatum.
Yeah. Well, join us next Friday, 8:30 a.m. with special guest Bo Tatum. And also I want to point out our little QR code here in the bottom. If you scan that with your phone, it will take you directly to our Facebook page. You can submit your birthdays, anniversaries, upcoming events, anything like that there. And shout out to Denny Fry for helping me with our little improvements on our stream. And thank you again all for joining us. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone.